So, you want to know more about how the RC-500 is controlled with an external Midi? You're in the right place. Okay, so the next thing is the Bridge6, setting up the Bridge6. So I'll show you what the connections look like to begin with. So this is the beast here. Sorry, you can't see the whole thing very well, but it's a bit close. Now, one thing I failed to mention earlier is that there are 8 signs, but there's only 6 foot switches. You might think, oh, that's not enough. But actually, each of these has 2 functions. So you've actually got 12 controllers just on this bank alone, okay? And there are 100 banks. So there's a lot of power in this guy, and you can do pretty much anything that you would like to do. You can do it with this. All right, so anyway, the connection in the back there, you see the MIDI out. Understand that this device, the Bridge6, is sending MIDI messages to the RC-500 and not in reverse. Okay, so you want that in the MIDI out. Right there, this is a DIN5, that's the name of this type of connection. It's sort of your classic MIDI cable on that end. Now, Boss is, it seems like the trend is going to TRS or mini TRS, so I'll show you what that is on this end. Just help me get organised here. Okay, so hopefully you can see there, this cable, this guy, it's just your mini jack, stereo mini jack, and that goes into MIDI in the back of your RC-500. Now that we've got, I've shown you that, the connection, what I'm going to do is connect the Bridge6 to my computer. And we do that just using a standard USB-C cable. This actually comes with the Bridge6, which is a nice little bonus. All right, so on the back of the Bridge6, so you see the USB slot right there. So the cable goes in there. And before I connect it to the computer, I'm just going to power it off to switch off the power supply. And then it is powered by the computer. It will be powered by the computer. So in your browser or yeah, Google or whatever you use, Pirate Midi web editor. Yeah. All right. So any of these links will probably work. I've used this before. There's a shortcut there. Now the first time you use this, you're gonna I'm logged in automatically. You're gonna have to create a login, but that's easy enough. Now this is really good, I've got to tell you. Now I could import from a device, so when my device is connected, I can just bring that back and work on it like that. Or I could bring it from a file. I've got the file saved, or you can create it from a template, all right? Because this might be your first time here, you don't have files or device set up, so we're gonna go from the template. And this is what it looks like. So first of all, choose the model. I'm using Bridge6, and the template will just use factory default. It already has a few things. So let's go. All right, so this is what the foot switch looks like roughly. And each of these are your foot switches, and these are the colors. Okay, so we can name straight away. I called my bank RC-500. So you can do whatever you like here. And just FYI, I did change the settings on the foot switch. So if you use my the thing that you'll find in the downloads on this video, if you use those settings, I've changed it so you can't change the bank. Currently this is bank 0. You can see that down the bottom there. And to change banks, it's a two buttons simultaneously will move you up and down banks. There's 99 banks, so you can have each of these 6 pedals doing something different in each of the 99 banks. Now, for me, that I can't use that. It's not, I just don't need it at this stage, all right? And what I don't want is accidentally pressing 2 buttons at once and it jumping to the next bank and I lose my loops and everything. All right, so I've disabled that, just FYI. I'm going to change this guy to, remember I used it for rhythm on off. I'll just say RH go/stop. Not very elegant, do what you like there. Okay, so that's referring to this button here. Okay, notice here you've got your color. You can choose the default colors from that list, or you can even make your own. Go nuts, all right? Let you worry about that. All right, so let's just jump into here, and that's where we have the switch settings, and we can tell it the MIDI messages. Okay, so right away here, you can see that there was a primary and secondary. I mentioned that. For my switch 1, my primary is rhythm on off, and my secondary initiates the effect. All right, turns the effect on, and also turns the rhythm on off. All right, so I'll show you how to set these, just this first switch up, and then I've got all the instructions in my Word doc. This one here, that's linked in the description. Okay, so this is what we're going to be setting up today. The Bridge6 settings here. FS1, foot switch 1, rhythm start stop, and the secondary is rhythm start stop plus an effect. So let's get into it. Okay, now the switch mode is toggle and hold toggle for this, but you can choose different modes. All right. That's what's going to work for me for this, and you'll see I've chosen different modes depending on the function that I'm trying to achieve. Toggle is the one that we've chosen, so that's the one we need to put in the switch messages for. So go into here, switch message, toggle. Now, and here is where we edit. Now, I'm going to have to edit. So first of all, that CC, remember there was a CC number? And the CC number is 1. This is the channel, that's the walkie-talkie channel that it's talking on. All right, so we need it at 1. Now the 127 is the MIDI message value. Now on and off messages are 127 and 0. All right, so anyway, that's our first message. Now the RC-500 needs 2 messages. It needs the 127 and it needs a 0. So I'm going to copy that and paste it and edit it and change it to 0. All right. And now we have it. That's going to turn our rhythm on. Toggle off is exactly the same. And to get that done, I'm going to just copy it. I can copy individual messages, and I can even copy whole switch message, the whole switch, which is kind of cool. All right, so anyway, let's just copy that. I'm going to get rid of that one because I didn't want it. And so that's that copied, and then that's copied, 127, 0. And then we have our rhythm turning on and off. Sweet as. Okay, now, if I scroll through, so secondary toggle is the other one that that I'm using, okay? Now, for the secondary toggle, I want to turn the rhythm on and off, but I also want to introduce the effect. Okay, so this is how we do it. Let's get rid of that. Paste. Let's copy the 0. So that's rhythm on and off again. But remember, I also want to I also want to turn on the effect. Now the only difference here is that the effect, I've allocated that to assign, I've said assign 6, and it was CC number 6. All right, so that's why I'm putting a 6 in there. Now remember, on off is required. You need to do the 0 as well. Okay, but now it's for 6. All right, so here we go. So 0. All right, so for toggle off, secondary toggle off, I just need the exact same set of messages. All right, so it just reverses what I do when I toggle on. So I can just copy and paste it all. There's the first one, copy and paste. Oh, that didn't quite work. There we go. There we go. And copy and paste. And last one, copy and paste. So just checking, we've got the rhythm on or slash off, and we have the effect on slash off with the 127.0. Okay, sweet. So once you've finished with entering in those instructions, I'll just move that back down. You can save and close. All right, so we've got this rhythm go stop. And I've also remembered we've put in the effect, so you might want to include that in your naming. All right. You can now export that as a file and save it on your computer for later use. And also, when your device is connected, the next step is to send it to your device by clicking this button. All right, and you'll get a little dialog box up. I don't have mine connected right now. Get a little dialog box up saying which device. You select that, send to device, and it will just duplicate this onto your device, and you'll be done. You'll be ready to go. All right. Good luck. All the instructions are there in the description. Feel free to grab it and run with it, or just use it and modify it. Have fun. Thanks for watching.